Wednesday or whether we did it on the Thursday night. Can you hear me okay back here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might have been the Thursday night. We were just kind of letting the roller kind of really melt into the leg. So start at the front of the hip, and then just slowly moving down. And when you find the spot, because it's a little bit lighter than the med ball, we can really sink into it. So which leg is it, Alison?
Right.
Right, okay. And just take those nice deep breaths. And just feel how that's a different sensation than the ball. So it allows your tissue to kind of go in and melt. And it feels like I'm kind of flattening out the quad a little bit in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels kind of nice. I find sometimes the med ball, especially for a little bit tighter, sometimes doesn't do the job as well. So slowly. Susie, are you kind of nearby, maybe that you can pick up a full roller, like full length roller from us at some point?
Yeah, I could probably pick one up, yes, or I can order myself one. Yeah, I've just stupidly, I haven't got one.
Just let me know and I can leave it in the front, just so we can do, because there's so many good stability stuff that we can do on the full length one, and I think
Okay.
it's good for your shoulder on there.
Yeah.
So I can just leave it out in the foyer for you, if you let me know when.
Okay.
We're usually here every morning and then every evening.
Yeah.
Okay, so move right down to that knee. And you might go a little bit kind of off to the side when you get down to the bottom of the knee. So go a little bit into the bottom of the IT band. See how that is.
Oh. It hurts.
Okay. You going all the way down the leg? Oh, it's really painful on the outside, right by the bottom there.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, and then slowly come to the other side. Or if you're still there, Alison, that's fine.
Yeah, I might just give it a bit longer, I think.
What's that?
I might just give this side a bit longer.
Yeah, that's cool. Especially if it's not melting, you know, give it the time to actually melt, because that's what's going to make the difference. How's Emmy doing?
Oh. How what?
How's Emmy doing?
She's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, she's doing really well considering, but I mean, it's pretty bloody depressing for her because I mean, she's got like zero prospects of getting a job.
I know, that's the thing. She's in her field. She can't really do anything right now, can she?
Well, no. I mean, she's sending off. She's had a few things from her agent to send off self-tapes for things, but I mean, like the entire world is unemployed, acting world.
Yeah.
So if you're not very well established, I mean, the chances of getting anything are
I
zero.
know.
And then all the other things that she was, you know, getting involved in, like you, for instance, but also the bookshop that she had the job at.
Yeah.
That's all gone as well.
Yeah. Does she get money?
She loves her house in London, but none of her friends can afford to go back.
Right.
Because they haven't got any work, so they may lose the house. I mean, it's pretty bloody depressing, really.
It's just such a knock-on effect, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, the last thing she wants is to end up staying here.
Yeah.
And she's got a newish boyfriend in London. Well, very new.
Yeah.
They'd only seen each other sort of 6 times, but she's kind of quite keen on him. And they can't sort of progress that relationship, see whether it's going to go anywhere or not.
Yeah.
So
are you on the other leg now, Alison? Susie's
yeah.
on both sides, yeah?
Yeah.
So do a little, I was just going to say, do a little bit on the side. Have you done down by the knee, Susie?
Yeah, yeah.
So we talked about kind of building a stability program for you, Susie, and around the knee, Alison. So maybe we just kind of highlight a few things that we can nail in and do. So are you on the other side now, Alison?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Okay. So then
I realised I didn't do any releasing like of the front of my shoulder or anything yesterday before Pilates. That probably didn't help.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's probably where I would go.
Yeah.
Because your shoulder likes to sit there, and then the problem is when it goes into those planes without it kind of sitting in the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, do a little bit of that now.
Yeah.
How do you find your hamstrings, Alison? Are they usually tight?
Not as much as my quads.
Okay. And IT band usually tight?
Hugely tight, yes.
What about adductors, inner thighs?
I don't think they're so bad. It's more IT band.
Okay, so do a little bit with the roller on it so it's not so sharp as the med ball. And just kind of find the spot that, we did a little bit down at the bottom, but just check at the top. Not too bad today, actually. Ow. Oh, you got it. And Susie, just making sure that you've got it starts at the chest and then kind of comes across to the shoulder.
Yeah.
Gonna get a band. How you doing there on the wall, Susie? You on the other side now?
Yeah.
Change sides. Was that sore on the IT band too, Alison?
It's not quite so bad on this leg.
Okay. And obviously, if it's not that strong, you could go to, because the IT band is quite a dense layer of tissue, you can kind of go to the med ball to get, or the lacrosse ball going down kind of that side of the leg. So if you find that the roller isn't really getting the job, then go to the lacrosse ball or the med ball. So I would say those two definitely need to be your regular repertoire every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, just get it in your head that you're going to do that every day. Yeah, and also, you know, we're kind of in this stressy, unusual. We're not doing the movements that we normally do. Like you said, we're sitting more. So our whole routine that used to work before needs to be adapted a little bit. Because yeah, probably you go for a walk and the knee's been stuck in a little bit of a bent position for a bit too long. And then you go to start to move it, and because it hasn't been lubricated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you could do a little bit before you go out for the walk or something like that.
Yeah.
To lubricate it beforehand. You drinking lots of water?
Yeah, I do drink lots of water, yeah.
Okay. Do you guys, so grab your flex bands, both of you. So just bring the band around the back of your shoulder. Okay, once you get into your standing posture, just have a little feel as to where you are in space. Okay, so I've just got a little hold on my band so it stays around the shoulder blade. Okay, so just get your weight into the right spot. Just letting the weight come back towards the heels. And just feeling a little bit of space in your knees. Okay, so as the pelvis comes back over the heel, just feel kind of almost like the back of the knee is not straight. The back of the knee has a little bit of a softness behind it. Okay, so stay towards your heel side now. Susie, yeah, bring the pelvis back a little bit more. Good, so feel now the lift through the hips. So kind of feel like, could you get the pelvis a little bit lifted off of your legs? Okay, so that feeling of lift through the center body. Okay, so you're retracting your shoulder, retracting your belly, and then kind of feel like you're expanding your shoulders kind of wide. So your ribs are kind of breathing wide. So breathe into the band. So your ribs kind of are expanding, and exhale, grow taller. So breathe into the band, keeping that standing posture. So the ribs are kind of trying to go, or the shoulder blades are trying to go out into the band. So they're kind of flaring wide. Okay, one more time. And release. Okay, then find the tension that you can bring your arms forward, but keep the shoulder blades backwards. So you keep your shoulder blades kind of on your back as the arms reach out. Okay, so you might just have to find where that position is. So my shoulder blades are on my back, but my arms are reaching out. Now, protract the shoulder blades. Okay, it's not going to be very big, and then retract the shoulder blades back, keeping the arms straight. Yeah, so lengthen through the arms, Susie. Lengthen through the arms, but not through, yes, okay, so that the triceps are actually fully engaged, and then protract and retract. Keep your standing posture, okay, just do one more, protract, so gliding them apart, and then gliding them back, and then bend the elbows. Yeah, you might need to really choke up the band. Okay, then I just want your arms to rotate. So I don't want the forearms to rotate. I want the upper arm to rotate to open your band a little bit. Okay, but you're keeping your elbows kind of by your side, not like too squeezed, and then come back to center. Okay, so feel like the upper arm rotates to move the forearms. Okay, so it's this part turning gently. Now, when you do it, don't let the ribs go forward. Okay, so when your arms rotate, your ribs don't pop out. Okay, so the ribs have to stay kind of really retracted back a little bit. So think about your wall retraction. Okay, so feel like those little bottom ribs are kind of hugging back a little bit. So it's not going to be super big, but just getting that feeling that the shoulder blades are kind of staying stable. Well, they kind of feel like they retract a little bit when I do this. Yeah, okay. So then stay where it feels comfortable, where it's not stressed. So you can see my ankle isn't all the way to the side. Okay, and then you're going to reach the arms out from there. So just decide how much tension you want there. Okay, keep your standing posture, keep that lift through the body, and then bring it back in. Okay, it looks still a little bit like your ribs are thrusted forward, Susie. Bring your ribs back, bring your pelvis back, yeah? So your core should be really engaged right from your pelvis all the way to the ribs. Okay, so you should feel from here all the way up. Whereas if that's displaced, you're not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just expanding that out. Good, but keeping kind of the shoulder blades on your back. Yeah, keep drawing those ribs back. Yeah. Okay, so you feel a little bit fatiguing in there. One more time. So externally rotate. Yeah, get the weight back in the heels, Susie. Get your pelvis weight back. Get your ribs back and then lift through your body. Lift, 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 lift. Yes. Okay, so keep that lift, keep that lift, keep that lift. Yeah. So the lift should almost make your shoulders feel like they're going up. Yeah, the lift through my body almost makes my shoulders feel like they're going up and then coming out into that little extension. Yeah. Okay. Stand on your band. So those are like two good kind of stability strengthening ones. Okay, so again, just decide how much tension you want in this. I'm just standing on one leg. So what I want is you to get the standing posture on that one leg. Okay, feel that the shoulders again are slightly elevated and wide. So they're not pulling down, they're slightly lifted and floating. Okay, you've got the core connection. And then I want you to feel your biceps immediately when you start to move the band. So as soon as the band starts to like feel the tension, you want the biceps to come on right away. Okay, so I'm just starting to pull up. Now when I pull up that way, I can feel my shoulder blades are in that retraction a little bit. Okay, but if I don't feel the biceps right away, then I haven't got the shoulders in position right. So my band is quite tense, so I can't go very far. Okay, so keeping that standing posture and then release. So make sure your shoulders aren't depressed and that your ribs are not here. So the ribs are back here. Okay, and then you want to feel the bicep kind of right away. And if your band is like a little bit too light, then make it a little bit more tense. Okay, so the shoulders are slightly elevated, chest is wide, and then you want to feel the biceps immediately. So not halfway up, yeah, not part way, like right from the beginning. Do you feel that, Susie, right from the start?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, do you feel how the shoulder blades engage a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch your wrists because they look like they're kind of like doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so try and have, I would have a little spiral in the arms. So I'm holding there, but when I go, I'm not kind of here with the wrist. It's probably more palms up that I'm going to end up doing. Yeah, and don't have the hands here. They should be on the side of you. Yeah, so open them out a little bit more. Yeah. So right there, I should feel that bicep. Okay, just a little kind of making sure that the shoulders are in that right position as we go. Okay, so take one, let's take the other foot on the band. And we'll go into our little one arm row. So choke up the band. I mean, you don't really have to hold the other side if you don't want to. Okay, so feel that there is a little bit of protraction, and I would get the other hand around here. So just hold your right hand, whichever the opposite hand to your leg. Get the other arm around here on your shoulder blade, so underneath the armpit, okay? First of all, get your spine lengthened and neutral. Thank you. Okay, so now let the shoulder blade be pulled kind of by your hand here to lower the arm down. Okay, so it's not my arm reaching, it's my shoulder blade coming around the rib. Okay, then I'm going to retract my shoulder first, pull the arm back next, then pull the elbow. Okay, and then back. And if you get some kind of neutral, then guide it around a little bit with your hand. So I'm going to retract the shoulder blade first, then retract the upper arm, then pull the band. Okay, so it's not the hand that pulls first, it's the shoulder blade, the upper arm, and then you can reach the other arm free if you want. Yeah? Keep that neutral position of your spine. Yeah, so a little bit more extension. That's it, and belly retracted as you pull. Good, so just a few more nice and slow. So let the shoulder blade protract, let your, yeah, that's it. And then retract the shoulder, retract the arm, then pull. And you can reach the other arm forward as you pull. Yeah, let it come through the trunk, that's it. Good, good, good. So just do one more slow on that side. Does that make sense? If it's not the arm that goes down, it's like the shoulder blade pulls the arm. Then the shoulder blade pulls back the upper arm, and then the elbow. Okay? Do the other side. Yes, and your bum should work in that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of how we go into protraction. A lot of the time we're actually letting the arm come out of the socket. So if I come to neutral here, and then let my arm come around so I can guide my shoulder blade around. So it's not the arm reaching, okay? And my shoulder blade comes back, my upper arm, then my elbow. And then come back. Okay, then I go to neutral, have a pause. This is especially for Susie. So you kind of come here where my shoulder blade is on my back. Then I'm going to help guide it around with my hand. Then retract, arm, pull. And just feel that your belly is still retracting while you're pulling. Yeah, that looks nice. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so then when you, so watch there, you're a little bit, so there's a kind of a neutral place, and then that's where I would take the hand and make sure that it's the shoulder blade coming around and not just your arm overstretching. Yeah, so the shoulder blade kind of goes around your ribs. So you're turning as you protract. Yeah, then retract, pull, good. Yeah, that's it, good. Do one more. And remember, you want the shoulder slightly elevated when it pulls. So one more. Yeah, so both of you have to watch that it's not the pecs that pull the arm forward, it's the serratus that glides it around. Yeah, so my pecs can pull it, or my serratus can push it around. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, good. Come down into the floor. Have your roller with you. So just have the roller nearby. We're going to do a little bit of kind of arm circles. But I want you to just really get this motion, especially Susie. I know it's really simple, but I think we don't do arm circles very well. So make sure you have nothing in the way that you can do a full circle. Ooh, I have an idea. Have your band nearby as well. I'm going to do this first, actually. So take your band up. Okay, once you've got your band in hand, take your shoulder blades and do a little bit of, so what I want you to do is kind of pull out the band a little bit. So the band is kind of pulling apart very slightly, okay? So there's a little tension on the band, okay? And then protract and retract without it coming into the front of your shoulder, okay? So there's a little bit of pull outwards in the band, and then protract, retract, without it coming into the front of the shoulder. Okay, so there's a little bit of push out. I've got my band between kind of my thumb and first finger. Okay, so I'm there. And then I'm just pulling wide a little bit, and then moving the shoulder blades apart and together. But don't let the elbows straighten, Susie. Don't let the elbows bend. Keep them straight. Straight, straight, straight. Really straight. Really straight. Yes. Okay. Now don't let the elbows bend. No. Keep them straight. Keep them straight. Keep pushing up. Keep pushing up. Push, 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 push. Yes. Now let the, no, your elbows moved. Okay. So you've got to make the shoulder blades move. You've got the band in the wrong place, hon. You're holding it like this. No, it's up. It's up. It's not on your back. It's in the air.
All right. In between.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Same with Allison. It's like this, guys.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm holding it in my hand. Out in front. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, okay. So it's in front of your shoulder, and you're pushing out into the band a little bit. Okay, so that activates the serratus a little bit. Yeah, so when you do that, Susie, get the arm in the socket.
I think it's the front of my arm that gets tight as well.
So what you could do is do some deltoid release.
Yeah.
Have you done any releasing kind of around there?
Yeah.
But I think when you straighten, you don't straighten from your triceps, you straighten from kind of the front.
Yeah.
Like, straighten from the back of the arm. Yeah, so these guys are kind of working. So try and just lower your arms a little bit down towards your knees a bit more. Yeah, and then widen them apart there. Does that feel better?
Yeah.
Okay, so stay there, and now glide the shoulder blades apart and together. So with the arms reaching out a little bit into the band, yeah, now glide the shoulder blades apart and together with that little bit of abduction in the band. So same with you, Allison, reach your arms a little bit towards your knees. Like have them on a slight angle forward when you're doing the protraction, retraction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does that help having them slightly lower, Susie?
Yeah. Weirdly, that doesn't hurt.
Good. Yeah, because you're not then working your deltoids, right? The deltoids start working when you get past flexion. So when
Right.
you're down here, and then you can move those shoulder blades with that little bit of abduction. So the abduction is going to activate the serratus a little bit, and then you move into the protraction, retraction. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all working. Thank you. I'll have a chat with you after, yeah? Okay. So take a little breather. So now, with that band slightly open, see if you can guide the shoulder up, keeping that little bit of kind of tension in the band. And see how far you can go. Let the shoulders elevate. And then come back down. So you want to really think about the shoulder blade movement, not the arm movement. So once you've kind of got that stability, yeah, let the shoulder blades move the arms. Yeah, and if it goes into pain, Susie, then go back to the protraction, retraction.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have that widening of the band. So Allison can probably do this for range of movement. But as I start going up, the shoulder blades have to move on my back a little bit to bring the arms overhead, but also not letting the ribs pop up. Okay, so keep that little bit of abduction And then feel the arms rotating in the shoulder and the shoulder blades moving on your back. Yeah, so let them glide up, Cindy. Don't be afraid to let the shoulder blades move on your back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That feel okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then come back forward. Let the shoulder blades glide the arms. So this is where we get out of sync. Yeah, the shoulder blades start getting locked, and then the arms start doing way too much. Okay? So
Yeah.
when we do overhead movement, there needs to be a little bit of gliding of the shoulders. If the shoulder blades lock and the arms are doing it all, that's when we're going to get pathology. So as you move, the shoulder blades move as well. And then the shoulder blades come down as the arms go down. Okay, so there is a rhythm with them. And if we lose that rhythm, that's when we start getting stuff happening. Okay, so just do that one more time. So that can be, you've got the recording, or if you can remember those kind of standing one, protraction, that little reaching out to the side, and this one, those are quite good. And it's quite nice to get that serratus working. Okay? So give your arms a little breather, put your feet on the roller. So Alison, this is a little bit for you. We've done this before, I think. So it's really simple. You just let the legs go out as long as you can keep neutral. Okay, and then I want you to think of the back of the knees lifting to pull the roller back. So it's kind of like someone's poking underneath your knee pit to drag the roller back. Okay, then you keep neutral as you go. So it's a little bit of a stability exercise for the pelvis. Okay, really keeping your sacrum on the mat. Keep the back ribs, and then think behind the knees lifting to bring the roller back up. Okay, so it's a little bit of a popliteus exercise, but actually it's a really good core exercise. Okay, so don't let the legs go too far if your tail starts dropping down. Then back of the knees lift. Now that really engages my core. You feel your transverse muscles working. Guys?
Sorry?
Do you feel your transverse muscles working when you do that? So as you lift behind the knee and pull the legs
Yes.
up, so you feel your core.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the stabilizers work together. So the stabilizers behind the knee are the little popliteus. It's a little muscle behind the knee. So when you actually engage under there, especially in this pattern, because you've got hip flexion as well, it should naturally engage your deep abdominals.
Yeah.
Okay? So then
They really take over at the top. Yeah.
Tabletop. So one leg tabletop, and then do the same with the single leg. But as it goes down, let this leg go forward towards you. Okay, so this leg goes into hip flexion, and then think popliteus, lift. It's almost like the foot is going to come off the roller. Like I hardly have any pressure on the roller, and then the floating leg goes out in space. Now, when the floating leg is out, really try and engage deep in your abdominals so that you can open up the front of your hip and almost press a little bit into the back of the leg. Okay, then come in, let the roller go down. Back of the knee lifts, almost like your leg is going to come off the roller, and then press into the back of the leg in the air as it goes forward. And whatever breath works for you. So it's kind of like our single leg. Okay, now do you guys have your, let's do the other leg. Do you guys have your weights nearby?
Yeah.
Okay, so get a decent size, like, I mean, it's up to you, Susie, how you're feeling in terms of strengthening today. Don't be afraid of the strengthening. Just make sure you've got the position right in your shoulder. But yeah, if you want to keep it light, that's fine. So do the other leg first. Forget which leg it was do. Okay, so we're going out, and this one's coming in, and then popliteus, reach the leg. Okay, so I want to really engage a little bit through the back of the floating leg. So the back of the floating leg reaches forward, so I still have core control. Okay, roller, popliteal. So I'm thinking of my knee pit as I float the roller up, thinking of the back of the leg pushing as the leg goes away. Okay, so we're going to coordinate that with our little one arm press. So which leg? So whichever leg is in the air, that's the hand that's going to have the weight. Okay, so whichever leg is floating. So go back to your first leg that you did. Okay, so keeping it still as the leg goes down. And then as the roller comes back up, reach your weight. Okay, and think of the band a little bit. Kind of when we were standing, that the ribs were back, the shoulder blades on your back, the arm straightens up. Inhale to come back. Okay, if you want to go to tabletop and just reach that leg for 4 more. 3, feel like you're pushing into the back of the floating leg. 1 more. And release. Okay? On the side, so you can start with a few with the roller, and then if you want to come to the tabletop kind of partway through. Okay, so float the leg up, keep that neutral position, and just keep imagining the band is around your ribs as you press. Okay, so roller goes down, and then as the floating leg goes forward, arm comes up. So really feel like the band is connected around your back, up along your arm into your hand. So you always have an imaginary band there. And up. Good, yeah. So you've got to kind of make your own resistance a little bit, as if the shoulder blade is resisting the hand going up. Good, give me 4 more. That's it. So that floating leg, you're pressing into the back of the leg. Good. 2 more. That's it. So it's keeping those ribs back a little bit into the mat as well. Okay, 1 more. Good, good. Okay, pop both feet onto your roller. No headlock. See how this is on the knees, Allison? Okay, and just press down, and then just hover your pelvis off the mat, and just hang out there for a second. No tucking, just stay really, really neutral. Okay, and just feel as you stay there, what's kind of activating. Okay, so I can feel my hamstrings already. I can feel a little bit of core, maybe a bit of my calves. Okay, now you're going to press equally through your foot as you equally tilt your pelvis a little bit. Okay, so you're pressing down through your feet as the pelvis is tipping a little bit to 12. So as the feet press, there's a little bit of 12. Feet press. Now think of that popliteus underneath your knee. So finding space behind the knee pit as you come up. Yeah? And then come into your bridge. And then roll down. Or just come straight down. Whatever feels good. But just come to that hover. Okay? Don't come all the way down. Then feel a little bit of press through the roller, a little bit of tilt of the pelvis. Feel behind the knee pit. Okay, so imagine there's a little hand poking into the back of that knee. Tilt the pelvis a little bit 12 as you press down. Yeah, keeping that roller underneath you. And then go straight down. And then just hover a little bit above the mat. Obviously, if you have to come down, that's cool. that feel okay on the knee, Alison?
Yeah, it's I can slightly feel it behind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of hamstrings. Tilt the pelvis a little bit. We'll just do one more after this one. And back. You okay?
Ooh.
And one more. It's really hard. Okay, now see if you can stay at the top and just roll your roller a little bit away from you and back in. Just 3. Roll a little bit away from you. And back in. One more. Roll, keep your bridge. And then release all the way down.
Oh.
And then hug the knees. Okay, come on up to all fours. And if you have a kettlebell or just a dumbbell is fine, Susie, but if you have a light kettlebell, what weights do you have?
I kind of got
Yeah, I've just got a 10. I wouldn't go any higher than that, or just a dumbbell. But if you're doing the kettlebell, you're going to hold it like that. Okay? If it's higher than a 10, then don't use that. Use a weight. Okay? So dumbbell here. Okay, so come into your quadruped, and then just feel where your shoulder blades are nicely on your back. Okay, so just do a little bit of protraction just before the weight, actually. Just do a little bit of protraction, retraction. A little bit of forward and back. Have the toes kind of tucked under. Okay, and then kind of feel where your shoulder blades are really kind of sitting on your back. They're not overly pressed, so you shouldn't feel tension across your back. I kind of feel nothing. I almost feel like there's a little bit of space between my shoulder blades. Okay, then tilt the pelvis a little bit 12, so your emphasis goes down to your belly a little bit. Okay, spread the hands. So you're going to take your weight and think of your band, how we retracted, hold the arm, and then rotate your trunk. And then come back to the floor. Okay? So we pull the shoulder blade back. Remember, the shoulder needs to be slightly elevated. And push the ground away as you rotate. Yeah? So just make sure when you pull from the ground, because you haven't got far to go, that you don't do this, Susie. Yeah, so the elbow doesn't go first. Yeah, so I get shoulder blade, then upper arm, and then can you see the angle here that my shoulder is actually higher than my elbow, and then I move the trunk. So there's never a point where my elbow is higher than the shoulder. Okay, that's really key. So shoulder blade, yeah, upper arm, yes, now turn the trunk. Yes, okay. Change sides. So shoulder blade first, then upper arm. So the upper arm is always higher than the elbow. And then as you turn, it kind of goes in one piece. Yeah. Good. Keep the belly retracted. Okay, so we don't flop out. Yeah. Good, good. Try not to flex the spine. Try and keep it slightly extended. Yeah. So it's almost like your chest lifts a little bit as you turn. Okay? Does that feel okay? And you're pushing down into the other arm, so we're getting that protraction that we had at the start on the mat. So the arm that's pushing into the floor is protracting. Okay, make that your last one. Yeah, hard. I think did we do a little bit of this last day where we were just kind of putting the weight a little bit into the big toe and almost slightly going into a little internal pattern. Did we do that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so see how that feels for you. Okay, so if you get the feet in kind of a stepping stance, so kind of where you take a normal walkish. Okay, nice upright posture. So I'm just gonna start to bend the knee, but veer the knee where we shouldn't go, across the big toe. And I'm gonna see how far I can go before the body wants to tip forward. Okay, and then I kind of feel there's the pressure point, and I come back. So I don't want it to be pain, I just want it to feel like load. Okay? So slowly going across into the big toe by keeping upright. So if I look down, I can't see my foot. Yeah. Okay, so it's just teaching the body to load in that little bit of kind of pronated position. Yeah. That feel okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It actually feels kind of nice in my knee, even though it feels like a place that I shouldn't go. It kind of feels, sometimes when I'm trying to be too externally rotated, it feels like not so nice. Keep it upright. Okay. And then come to the other side. So just pressing across that big toe, slightly letting your knee veer across, but keeping the body upright. So just seeing how far you can load that before it doesn't, wow. I've only done this for like a week now, and it just feels like it can go so much further. And I've been playing with that a little bit in the lunge, in the kneeling lunge, allowing my knee to kind of go in a little bit, and it's been feeling much better on my front leg. Okay, so now if we go into the standing posture, we were pulling back the heel, but not locking out the knee. So feel like you still have a knee. So not so far back with your back leg. Okay, so I'm pulling the mat, lifting through, and yeah, behind the knee, I feel like I still have that little bit of popliteus energy, like where we were pulling on the roller. Okay, so I can then come through my hip. Can you guys feel your hamstring when you're in this position? Yes, no?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So what I used to do, and probably Alison will feel this more, is all I ever felt was like my knee. Yeah, I never really felt my hamstring. But if I can kind of press my shin down, my foot back. So here's my little thinking. Foot back, shin down, knee like almost like there's just a little bit of start of me bending it, and then open up the space in my hip. Okay, and then I can feel my hamstring. Can you guys feel that? Yes?
A bit.
A bit. Does it feel very knee?
No, I'm not feeling my knees.
Okay, so see if you can lift out of the hip a little bit. Yeah? Also, if you're slightly forward with the hip, bring the hip back, lift out, drag. And it's kind of like, if you imagine a hand back here, so you're pushing into a hand that's behind you, but at the same time pushing the thigh forward. Yeah? So if I have my hand here and hand here, that's what I want to feel like. The resistance is going forward with my back leg and back with my front leg. Does that make any sense? Okay, then and I have to adjust my back leg. Let that front knee just go a little bit over the toe, just a little bit as you go down. And it just feels a little bit easier for me to go into that position. Obviously, you might not want to do that today, Alison. So what you can do is go into that kind of drag hold And then just come into the little standing posture here, where we come up, and really keep feeling that bum. And then come back. Okay, so Susie, if you want to try going into it, but slightly allowing that knee to go over your toe a little bit. Yeah, and pull back into the hip. Yeah. So not so much of a spiral out all the time. Yeah, I feel like I can go down when I just allow it to come in a little bit and then just make sure I come into the standing posture. Just do the other leg a few times. So what we've got to get for Alice and you is to really feel the hamstring pulling you up and not the knee. Okay, so just get that standing posture. So I'm dragging back my foot, sending down my shin, little bit of like I'm pulling the roller, and lift with my hip, deep abdominal. So I have that moment there. Again, when I go into the little lunge, I'm letting my knee go a little bit across my toe, so the front knee, and then come back up. How does that feel for you, Susie?
Yeah, I can feel it much more on this side. It feels more natural this side, and so I can feel everything in the right place.
Yeah. That's it. So just to let the leg go into your hip, Allison. Yeah, so when you go down in this position, you don't want to then go here. You want to still be making sure that you're going back into your hip when you go down. Yeah, so it is hip flexion. Yeah. And then coming up and feeling that bump at the top. So just do one more. Okay, so bend into the hip first. Yeah, your body's very rotated, it looks like, Allison. So rotating your hips, yeah, not too much. So into the hip, but just not being afraid to let that knee go over the toe a little bit as you go down. Yeah. Good, ladies.
Whew.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Do your releasing regularly, and Susie, maybe bring in some stability stuff, like with the band. Yeah?
Yes, yeah, lovely. Okay.
All right, take care.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.